everything we have, or most of it, comes by ship. I think really we saw coming out of COVID that people suddenly realized how tenuous a lot of our supply lines were. It was thought that people would not get their presents over the holiday period because all of it was stuck in these container ships. And so a lot of the world's focus has shifted to the maritime, but a lot of people probably have not been following this incredible investment that Chinese agencies and companies have made in ports around the world.
Ports, especially Chinese investments in global ports, has become quite the hot topic over the past few years. So something new that this report offers is an updated picture into how large is really Chinese financing for global seaports overseas.
The data set that we use to conduct the analysis, we believe, is the largest and most comprehensive, as near a real-time picture of China's overseas global footprint as anyone has currently. Alex Wooley, Partnerships and Communications Director at AidData. I'm a lead author of this report. I was an officer in the British Royal Navy, and I also write regularly on naval and maritime issues. In this report, what we really see is China has this maritime dominance underway, and it's in so many different domains. The naval dominance, fishing vessels, the shipbuilding is always in the top 3 worldwide. So China has really been doing this for 20 plus years. China wants to ensure that it has this independence of its supply chains that keep the Chinese economy and even the Chinese defense complex afloat. So one of the things that we found is the co-location of ports with key industries, sensitive technologies, critical minerals, etc. China is very often building a port to be able to access these key commodities. We have a lot of satellite imagery where we look at the port before China financed any aspect of it, and where in many cases you will see there was no port in some cases, and there was a rocky shoreline or a sandy beach. And within a few short years, China has built a massive container terminal. And very often associated with this you will see hubs and networks of railways and roadways and lots of associated shoreside infrastructure or warehouses. So really doing it through the commercial route that also brings with it an enormous geopolitical benefit. The US, by comparison, has been typically in the past very focused on the military and defense. So the US obviously still has an amazingly strong Navy and Coast Guard, but has a basically moribund shipbuilding industry of commercial ships. Hampton Roads is an interesting example because AidData, William & Mary are located so close. We're sort of quite familiar with the maritime environment. So Hampton Roads is, of course, home to Newport News Shipbuilding, which is the only builder of the US's nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and one of 2 builders of the nuclear-powered submarine fleet. At the same time, China is deeply embedded in the economy of Hampton Roads. So, for example, a mile down from Newport News Shipbuilding is this enormous coal terminal. A lot of the coal that's brought there from Appalachia is something called met coal, which is very important for the manufacture of steel. Hampton Roads exports a lot of this met coal to China, which then is used to build all manner of things in China. And we speculate purely sort of as an idle sort of thought. There's a potential that coal mined in the eastern United States, shipped through Hampton Roads, might eventually end up as steel in a Chinese Navy warship.